Hello. So good morning, Laura. And I'm so pleased that you could join me here today and we can celebrate World Bee Day together. So first of all, would you like to tell us a bit about your role with Ilanga-Nature?
Yes, so I'm Laura. I'm the directing manager of the production site of Ilanga-Nature here in Madagascar. So we offer high quality honey, jams, and spices from Madagascar. But our main product that is so important to us is our honey. So we work directly with the beekeepers. We are working with them to develop their apiaries to collect the honey, and then we have it filtered and packed. And yes, we exported them to Europe and other countries.
Wow. And how long have you been doing this?
We've been doing this since 2017, so it's been 4 years now.
Ah, okay. Okay. And what we're trying to do is plant more trees. We know that the world needs more trees, but also what I've learned since keeping bees is that the bees need trees. Trees have flowers and blossom with the all-important nectar and pollen. So can you explain the connection in Madagascar between the trees and the bees and your beekeepers?
Yes, our producers, when they understood, when we started working with them, and when we made beekeeping a more sustainable and stable activity for them, they became the guardian of the forest. Because now they know that when they are cutting trees, that means less flowers, so that means less honey, and they know we are here to work to more honey and to buy the honey. So now they protect and they let the others know that it's better to collect honey and to have apiaries than to cut the trees and sell charcoal, because that is a big issue here in Madagascar, is deforestation, because of poverty and because people are not really educated. They cut trees and they send charcoal. And now that we have beekeepers and we have more and more, every year we have more beekeepers in different sites of Madagascar, and they protect the forest because they know that they have to keep the flowers to have more honey, more production.
I love that they're now the guardians of the forests. That's just that's wonderful. The forests need guardians, so that's brilliant. And so what are the most precious trees that you have in Madagascar? Which are the ones that really need guarding?
Well, one of the richness of Madagascar is that we have a lot of endemic plants and trees. So, and there's a lot. We have, for example, an endemic eucalyptus, which is also melliferous plants that make a great honey. We have the nyauli tree as well. And we have the mokarana, which is an endemic tree that you can only find in the southeast of Madagascar. And that also makes a really unique honey that is really appreciated by our European customers.
I must say the mokarana is my favorite out of your honeys.
Oh, really? That's cool.
Yeah. And Brandy, who works with me, her favorite is the eucalyptus, and it is very different to other eucalyptus honeys. So that's interesting. That is an endemic.
An award in Belgium, the eucalyptus. We had the silver award by you submitted to a contest packaging. Yes.
Oh, yeah. No, and you have won awards, haven't you? I mean, it is excellent honey that your beekeepers are producing.
Yes, it's really good quality, and it's different from other honey by the taste, the sense. It's really the honey from Madagascar is really unique. It's very strong, and yes.
This is why I think more people should taste it, because it is quite unlike any other honeys. It's it's richer, it's more complex, very interesting honeys.
It's not very famous yet, but once people taste it, they always really enjoy and appreciate, and they rebuy it. So yes.
Yeah.
We just wanna make people taste it so they know. But no, not enough people know yet. That's the issue.
I love all the packaging as well, and your gift boxes, the wooden gift boxes, you make them there, don't you? Everything is.
Yes, that is made here by local producers. So we really want to export something already made to the consumer's table. So we want it packed and in the package and in the final package here from Madagascar. So yes, we are the made in Madagascar, entirely made in Madagascar is very important to us.
Yeah.
To promote the activity of our country. Yes.
And it's in this time, and particularly with coronavirus, and it's making everybody look at nature differently. It's making us look at our food and our production. And there can be some arguments that we should buy local, but I believe we are a global community, and there are things. I was speaking to somebody the other day who was saying that their farm shop was saying, no, we're only selling local produce. But then people started saying, but I want bananas, and of course we don't grow bananas or pineapples in the UK. And this is where this ancient tradition of trade comes in, where there are spices, there are fruits, there are vegetables from all around the world, and we want to trade. And so as a global community, we support each other. So how does exporting your honey, how does that make a difference for your beekeepers? How does selling honey to the rest of the world make an impact on the lives of people in Madagascar?
Yes, I really like that idea, global community, because when we promote the honey from Madagascar, it directly supports our beekeepers. Our strength is that we do not have any intermediaries. We work directly with the beekeepers. We contract with them. We work with them to develop their apiaries. We collect the honey with them. So anything that impact positively our activity, it directly goes to the beekeepers. So by the honey we are exporting, because the market in Madagascar here is still weak. I don't know if I can say weak, but what I mean is that selling the honey to Europe is more rewarding for the beekeepers than selling it here in Madagascar. So that's how it impacts them. If we develop the activity of the honey, we develop the activity with the beekeepers. So it's really directly related. I don't know if I make sense.
Yes, no, you make perfect sense.
Yeah.
And I understand now that a simple thing of selling honey or keeping bees enables a family to send their children to school, for instance, something that we take for granted. But obviously that has a huge impact.
Yes, we have a lot of beekeepers that can testify. We have working together for 4 years for most of the beekeepers, and they can see in a short amount of time already a change in their lives. They have more financial stability, which they didn't have before. Because before we arrived, am I gonna sell my honey this time? Maybe in 3 months I'm not gonna sell. But we contract with them. We commit to be to working together in the long run. So they know that it's stable, it's sustainable, and now they can invest. We have beekeepers that testify they rebuilt their house, they send their kids to school, so now they can invest, and they couldn't do that before. Yeah. And they are very proud of that.
Oh, yes. That's wonderful. And of course, then they can plant more trees.
And they can plant more trees, yes. And they also, now we see that they also educate the other people to stop cutting trees. That, see, beekeeping is very interesting, it's important. So let's plant trees, let's stop selling charcoal. That is not working anymore. So they are trying. And we saw that in the regions where beekeeping is very, very promoted, that is where deforestation is limited. But when we don't have beekeepers, they keep cutting more trees.
Oh, I love
helps that.
Yeah. I love the interconnectivity of everything. A simple thing like a jar of honey can impact forests on the other side of the world.
Exactly.
Yeah. And of course that affects.
And it doesn't have to take years. Yes.
Sorry.
In the short run, you can see already the good.
Oh, no, and you do have quite a lot of women. And I love at the moment, there's a big rise in women speaking out. You have the grandmothers of the world, all the wisdom keepers, women in business, who are standing up and saying, right, let's have a new world. Let's take this chance to change. And you have a lot of women beekeepers.
Yes, we have more and more female beekeepers. At the moment, they represent approximately 30% of our beekeepers. They are women, and most of them, they are also mothers. So they are it's very rewarding for them to also support the family, because usually their husband is also another local producers with a small market. So they help support the family. And again, they can send their kids to school, which they couldn't do before for most of them. So it's rewarding as a woman also to participate, to support the family.
Yeah. Yeah.
Before that, they are proud, exactly, and they used to be housewives, and now they are doing an activity that are making them proud.
Oh, yeah. That's wonderful, really wonderful. So, so what is the thing that we can do to help those beekeepers? You know, what are the main challenges that? Oh, well, there's lots of challenges. I mean, you've had awful storms through the winter. I mean, horrific. I can't even imagine. You know, I might have one hive blown over, but you've had horrendous storms. Tell us a bit about winter 2019, 2020. What did you have that challenged you?
So the challenge that we face, that is the most important, that we already talked about, is deforestation, because it is still growing until today. There's less and less flora. So that's why it's very important, and it is now an emergency, I think, to plant trees. We used to be called the Green Island, and now we are called the Red Island. So it's very, very sad. We have less and less flowers. And also the climate change, we see that compared to last year, with the climate of now, we have less production due to the change in the climate, and winter came earlier than usual. With beekeepers don't really understand why, and that means less flowers, so less honey. So that is the two, and it's our main issue. I think it's environmental issue.
Yeah.
It directly impact the honey production. So even though we have the right tools, we do everything right to collect the honey, that is independent of our will, and that impact the production of the honey. But besides of that, what we noticed now, which is the challenge of our beekeepers, is that there is a lot of frauded, adulterated honey, and that impacts negatively their market, because adulterated honey is it's sold cheaper to other operators or companies, and that impacts their production as well. For the beekeepers to make actual pure honey, because the pure honey is less production. So some people, they are attempting to produce the more frauded honey, to add water and all that, and that is still an issue here in Madagascar.
Yeah.
And that's also another reason where we have to work very closely with the beekeepers, so we can ensure that the honey that we collect, it's pure.
And some of your beekeepers are in very remote areas. I mean, I hear you have wooden barges, you have your truck just to collect the honey.
A few videos on that where we can see, yes, the roads are not always very easy to access the hives. Yes.
Yeah. And so it's great.
Most of the time, that's where we find the best flowers and the best how can I say, the best locations where they have very unique honeys. It's in very, very remote area, far from the industrial companies and all that.
Yeah. And I suppose by extracting the honey in your truck by the beekeepers, this is how you can have your single variety honeys. You can be sure, you could be certain what the honey source is. Whereas I imagine, you know, a larger organization that is trying to sell honey cheaply would just put it all in together and mix it up and just have a Madagascar honey. So this is what's really special as well, that you have all these different varieties and you know the source. So that's really,
Yes,
really.
and it's not just during the extraction, but even before. We have a team that follow the beekeepers throughout the year. So we do not just come when it's time to collect the honey, but we come even before to help the beekeepers to see if everything is going as planned. So
Yeah.
we check on the hives. We do a few testing here and there. So yes, it's really we work together. We don't just come to extract the honey. It's an all-year contract with the beekeepers.
Oh,
Yes.
no, that's super. And how many beekeepers do you have at the moment?
Now we are contracted with 350 beekeepers in 3 different regions of Madagascar.
Gosh, so that keeps you very busy.
Yes, very, very busy.
Oh, and I know that over here there's lots of campaigns to plant trees in various places around the world. And the reason I'm really excited about your project is I know that when trees are planted, you water them and you take care of them. Because quite often you could put some money in and you say, yes, I've planted 100 trees, but within a couple of weeks they're dead. So, but you really take care of your trees because your beekeepers need them.
Exactly. And we don't do it alone. So again, that is the best thing about beekeeping, is that it makes the beekeepers, they want to help to develop it and to protect the trees. So we are not doing it alone. So the more beekeepers we have and the more people to protect the trees we have. So that is great. Yes.
Oh no, it's just really lovely.
When we see the positive impact, they are very willing to work with you to develop the activity and to help reforest the island.
Oh, brilliant. So is there a final message you would like to give to our viewers, the people who've joined us today, who are going to look at the crowdfunding that we're just about to launch? And so we've got all these amazing packages where they can buy honey, but it's going to plant trees. So what's the real message that you'd like to get across from your beekeepers?
Well, first, thank you for joining us, and thank you for your interest in our island activity for beekeepers. And we are working with them, so it's supporting us, supporting our honey, is supporting the beekeepers of Madagascar.
Oh.
And we are very, very transparent on our activity. So it's not just me talking, but I invite you to watch our videos where we try to illustrate and to explain all the work that we do with the beekeepers. So please watch our story and taste our honey.
Well, yes. Well, through today, I'm going to show a video very shortly, which shows the forests and the beauty of the country and your honey extraction truck going around. And we've actually got some interviews with some of your beekeepers. So that's really great. So we'll be showing that. And through the day, we're going to be tasting honey live. So those who join us throughout World Bee Day, by the end of the day, they'll know so much about Ilanga-Nature honey and about your wonderful beekeepers. And then hopefully we can be a good chunk towards planting 1 million trees.
Yes, let's hope that.
Thank you.